Hello and welcome to Altenstein, where the air is clear, the grass is green and the mountains are over there. A wonderful map by Redkeinstus Modding, who's also brought us Baltic Sea, Upper Lusatia and Woodshire, which are all magnificent maps. But this is Altenstein, a map I really enjoy, and this map is all about this man, and this playthrough is all about this man, Grandpa Altenstein. The farm is named after him, the village is named after him. His family were the first people to settle here, and we've got back here just in time. Now, we're going to take a little wander over. You can see a couple of bits of equipment, but we'll come back and look at those in a little while. We're going to take a wander over to the dealership. We got here just in time. Grandpa's old, he's been taken advantage of. He's been collecting equipment his whole life, maintaining it, restoring it, and some slick dealer got him to trade it all in for some new equipment. And luckily we got here just before the 14-day cancellation clause expired, and we took all of that old equipment back. We've got all of Grandad's old equipment back, and we are going to make this farm stand back on its feet. And not only do that, we're going to protect the village whilst we do so, because as Grandpa's ability to keep this farm going has waned, other people have moved in. Look at that. That's the kind of place we're in, guys. What a wonderful poster. I'd happily have that up in my garage. Sorry, I got sidetracked. It happens a lot. This junction can get particularly dangerous. Anyway, this is Wright's Agriculture. We will talk much more about Wright Agriculture shortly, but for now we're here to pick up the last of the vehicles that we need to get back to the farm. This wonderful Massey Ferguson Series 600C tractor in forestry spec. Also comes with a plough, which is going to be handy. Now, we've started the engine, we're playing in hard. We're going to zoom out just so you can see the farm. I'm going to spend quite a lot of time trundling around in the tractors, but I think for this part we're just going to stay out here. Now, there are 3 types of land on this map, which is quite small. I shall show you. It's that small, you have to zoom in just to make it fill the screen. There is land, which, as you know, has green numbers, which is under cultivation. They are fields. There are various areas of land around the map, which unfortunately Grandpa has neglected, and they either need returning back to their field status, planting with grass, whatever we decide to do. We'll have a look on the way round. Then there are the fields that Grandpa, or should I say the farm, although the farm is Grandpa, no longer owns. Some of these his friends took on really just to keep them going. The rest, unfortunately, have all been bought up by one man, Richard Wright, the heir to the Wright agriculture empire. So we're just getting into the back of the land that we own. I'll put the mini map on just so you can keep track. Right here we have a water point. You don't have to pay for any water on this map. There are various places you can get it. I'm going to go into details about the map and indeed the vehicles as and when, you know, we get to them during play. This is really an introduction for you. Now, we've got 2 areas either side of us here that could be ploughed out. They're ours. We have a field of potatoes here, which doesn't even show as a field on the mini map or the main map, which is odd. But they're there and they're ours, and they're there for the taking. Beyond, we have a couple of our fields, one that hasn't been cultivated for a while but can still be treated as a field by the AI, or should I say the workers. Right, and this is the biogas plant, and they're quite keen on biofuel in Altenstein, and these are the first 2 machines we're going to see up here. We have the Massey Ferguson MF356, what we're going to call this front loader. It's a very basic machine. It has one purpose and one purpose only. It's very interesting one. It has lots of character. It has a smiley face on its rear end, which I do quite like. Next to him we have this beast of a machine, the Fiat 120C Caterpillar tracked vehicle. We like to just call it the tank. It has the most wonderful sound when it's in operation, which we shall get to later. In the back of the shed we have a Lemkin plough, which this uses, and we have a Lowloader here for getting this guy around the farm as it expands, because he doesn't exactly move swiftly. Right, on with the tour. We'll cut back down the side of here. Now we're gonna get this farm up and running. We're gonna get it profitable, and we are gonna start buying fields back. Again, there's 2 fields here we don't own, and one just beyond over there in the middle of this area. Then the grass meadow is ours, and the field beyond is ours. Down there's the farmyard. We're going to do a little circuit of at least the busiest end of the map, and we'll end up back in the farmyard. But one of the most wonderful things about this map is how big the space it is in looks, if you see what I mean. It's a tiny map, but it's a tiny area of a big environment. It really conveys that very well. This is also a wonderful map to play on seasons, because the amount of trees around, deciduous trees that go through the seasonal progressions, yeah, you really get some good effects. Right, we're on top of this here hill. To the right of us is an area that can be worked as a field straight away if we want it to be, and down below us is an area of grass that can also be worked as a field in terms of workers mowing it, tedding it, etc. You can see the back of the cow shed down there. We'll get to that. Over here we have the sheep, and we currently have 8 sheep. We bought ourselves some. And just to show you that I haven't sort of done anything odd or cheated or played for days, I've literally, as you can see, bought that much. That's all the vehicles, everything that was in the game to begin with, getting sold. $434,000, which is pretty good. We bought the sheep. I did sell a couple of sheep because I overdid it. We built some stuff that's also general placeables. That includes the slurry sell point. We've got some vehicles on lease, as we know, but the hourly rates are going to be very low, because remember, you're only paying for leases when they're hitched to vehicles. We sold one bale. We bought some seed. We paid $1 in wages. It must have been the tip when I had a coffee this morning. And $264 of other. I'm not quite sure what that is at all. I might figure it out, I might not. Anyway, this is the sheep point. I love the way the sheep spawn up on this hill here. It's very nice use of the boundary yet again, just to seal off the rest of the landscape and make the space a lovely one. The wool spawns here. There you go. The grass goes here when we've got some. The water goes back down this end into this here trough, and the dialogue box is in here. And is that the same poster? Yes, it is. There's a few around though. Right, we're just going to drive past here. We have got a little shed up here should we need it. There's lots of little sheds around here. So yeah, so this is all field, and down to here is also field, and can be run as such down to about here. Right, this is a field owned by Richard Wright. This here field down here is ours. It's ready to be harvested. We may fertilise it, we may not. Out here we've got this area up the hill that can be ploughed in and used straight away. We've got field we don't own. That's Richard Wright's field there, number 23. Over there is a field that will go through the crop transitions, but it's beyond the glass boundary of the map. It's quite nicely done. Basically, the boundary of the map is very tight round here. I'm going to just top up to this hill. And don't worry, this lap of this map will not take very long at all, so you don't need big equipment on this map. And what we have got equipment wise, as you will see, is a blend of machinery from the Farming Classics pack. the Massey Ferguson mod pack, and a few other bits and pieces, certainly in terms of equipment. And as you've seen, vehicles. I will go into the details of the mods, their creators, and we'll have a look at them as we go along. Right now, here, up here, this grass area just beyond the fence, that's ours. The field beyond it is ours. That's got canola in it right now. These fields are owned by Richard Wright. We shall buy them. In fact, he owns this half of the map, everything to the right of us, apart from the fields that we own. Well, there's the meadow here, this field here. Just going to cut up the side of this field. That's probably the biggest field on the map right there. Now, before we cut through to the next field, 16, which we own, we're just going to take a look up here, because I think this is one of the absolute highlights of this map, even though it's hidden, is if you actually go through here, the view. Look, it's spectacular. It really works well. Well done indeed. Right, I've left the the manual engine start on, so let's see how often I remember to turn them off when I should be. And one of the benefits of having the manual is that the engine stays running, the machinery stays running. You can get out the tractors and just see the animations a little bit better. This field right here is ours. It's quite a nice big one, certainly by the standards of this map. Although on many maps that would be a small field. There's an area of grass right over there by the river that you can see in the background. That is ours. Then the fields are not. This tiny field to the right is ours. It's planted in sugar beet. That's that backside of that big Richard Wright field. We do have an abandoned harvester tucked in the corner of there. We'll have a proper look at him. Now we're heading back across here. These fields again all owned by Richard Wright. Now we're passing Mary's farm. That's not going to help, is it, making the minimap bigger, which is a sell point. We've got this house here, which we'll talk about. There's a story behind that. The old watchtower here on the river, one of the first things built in this area, and the farm alongside it. We've got the town, there's got the sell point, and the spinnery is also over there. But this is really the hub. This is the shop. The timber sell points are over here. We'll look at the woodland situation as and when we get to the wooded areas. There's one that's kind of a commercial kind of set up wooded area, and there's one on the farm that desperately needs our attention. What we're basically looking at here is an attempt to reclaim the map reasonably quickly. We will need more equipment on the way. I'm going to park out here. I would like to point out, if we look at the price list, there's only one manure sell point, and even though it's here, that's marked as Wright's Agriculture on the map. Right here. This is owned by Mary's farm, so we could sell manure if we wanted to, because they will not deal with us, these people. They know what we're up to, and the issue is this. We're going to go into the details now of who's here and what we can expect from them, and why this project is not only important to us but also to the people of Altenstein in general. Our first neighbour is Peter Wood. He's a friend of the family. He's very happy to sell the piece of land he's been holding on to back to Grandpa, and he absolutely loves country and western music. That may come in useful one day, who knows. He's got one field on the map, field 3, which is up not far from the farmyard, kind of behind the cow pasture. I'll show you when we go up there next, and it's very cheap, so it may well be one of the first fields that we look to buy. Next we have Simon Collins, who again, he's bought the land, he's had a go at farming. It's a bit of a hobby for him, a very old time friend of Grandpa's. He actually has got $57,600 worth of fields. We can't afford to buy all those straight away. He knows that, he understands. He also is happy for us to do some jobs on his fields. He'll give us a bit of a discount, it'll be great. He hates Peter Wright as much as we do, so he'll do anything to help with the project. And he loves musicals, so yeah, might be able to put that to use one day too. And then that brings us to Mr. Richard Wright himself, the heir to the Wright's agriculture empire. Now, Richard specialises in these country club style resorts that spring up here and there, swimming pools, you know, patios, attracting rich people in their four-wheel drive cars with their big rims and low profile tyres. You get stuck on the first sign of ice, pushing prices up, taking over the place. We don't need that, do we? He's not here to farm. He is here to buy up land and to redevelop it. We must stop this from occurring. Now, he owns a vast chunk of land amounting to $456,000. That means combined, the other three landowners on the map have got $535,000 worth of land we need to purchase. Mr. Wright is also one of those people who, knowing what we're up to, will not give us the slightest bit of discount on his fields. He will not let us do jobs for him. He's not going to do anything to help us. Due to local regulations, however, he can't stop us buying fields off of him for the advertised price, because we're farmers and he's not. He's also a neckbeard hipster and he wears a fedora. Need I say more? That's what we're up against. So now you know where we stand. We're getting back to the farm, and just to mention also that we only have the original $100,000 out on the loan. On this map on hard you can take it up to 270. We're not going to touch it. In fact, we intend to pay it off, get the bank's clause off of Grandpa too. Right, we're getting back into the back end of the farmyard. These three pieces of equipment here at least, they're quite modern pieces. We do need them. The Brantner trailer, a water container to get the water to the animals, and this is a potato harvester. And as I say, we'll go into the details of the mods as and when we actually use them, so we can make some progress through the farm. In here we have a trailer, that's 18,000 litre trailer. Around the back we have the fantastic Fortschitt E516 harvester. We have the corn and sunflower header. We have the grain header. We have a small cultivator here, which, because I've loaded in the game, has actually sunk into the concrete, but usually sits on a pallet. There's a spare pallet. The sheds are mostly empty. Apart from here, we've got the Amazone sugar beet corn planter. Unfortunately, modders, and I'm not a modder, so I really can't complain because I couldn't do it. There is no alternative cheap console Xbox mod that I can find to replace that as a basic machine. It also does cause me a complication, but we'll talk about that shortly. Right, we have the chicken pen just in here. Very handy, very friendly chickens. Just do be aware when you're playing this map, this side of the shed where the trailer is, if you've got anything further towards the field inside the shed, the workers will have collision warnings and get a bit stroppy, so just bear that in mind. Try to leave that side of the shed empty, or the stuff that's in that side in the middle where possible. Right, I'm just going to jump out here. We've got a beautiful stream running along here. Up here we have a slurry cell point we've had installed. We're going to keep the farm organic, which is part of the complication. Here we have the Deutz D80 tractor. We'll talk more about the tractors. The classic pack is really part of my farm simulator heritage, and I'm really pleased to be able to play with it here. We've got the Marshall manure spreader, painted by Grandpa's own hands to match his beloved Deutz, and we're going to keep it organic. We're going to use slurry. The animals will produce some fertilizer between them. Does lead us with the Amazone seeder being the only one that we can use. There is not a seeder in the game that will plant corn without fertilizing it if you leave a worker to do it. Hence, I have to manually plant the corn if we plant corn, etc., to keep it organic. So that's my little penance there for you. Right, we have the Massey Ferguson baler from the Massey Ferguson pack. Grandpa, how are you? This is Grandpa's favourite cow in here today, with the cat Arthur and a bag of cow treats. What are they, Grandpa? Sugar beet, fantastic. We'll leave him to it. He doesn't like to talk much. we'll head round this way. Got the farmhouse here. That's my guest house, I live in here. We got the washer, keep everything spick and span. We've got some front loader tools here. In here we had the Bdbssb pickup wagon. Now when it comes to the equipment, which you're starting to see, this is Grandpa's collection. It's a little bit eclectic, a little bit odd. We've actually got duplicates in terms of roll, because we've also got this Massey Ferguson, excuse me, kind of forage harvester to pick up grass and hay and straw. We then have two of the beloved tractors, the Lowloader BF 540. He can do a little bit of work for us. He's got the mower over here from the classic pack, Coon, and I believe it's a Coon tedder also, which the hat's here on of Grandpa's very first ever restoration projects. He does that. They can also help us out in various other roles around the farm. A few more sheds here, but we've got the pigs, the beloved pigs. Straw goes in here. Digestate stroke liquid slurry, whatever you want to call it, comes out here. The food goes in there. The dialogue box is here. Here we've got a fully equipped workshop, and the pig manure gets piled up here. Over here we got the red wagon, 8,000 litres, very handy for around the yard. We've got the Massey Ferguson pack, 5 metre cedar, very handy, doesn't need too much horsepower, very basic. This is where the cow manure spawns over here, the other side of the chickens, just to keep your bearings. Lovely big shed in seasons. This is great for keeping all your bales in. This is a straw drop off point, also where the mess from the cows spawns. You can also feed them straight in here also. Sliding doors, I've left most of them open on the map just to facilitate things. The cows are here, water in here, food in here, happy cows all around us. Going to get back to the tractor now. You've seen almost everything. Left the engine running, but there you go. Right, we're just going to cut through here. We'll go inside. Inside's not really inside, is it? Right, in the shed just here, we have a silage cutter. We have the water trough up here for the pigs. These sheds, if we need them, a little bit over capacity on the storage perhaps for now, but we will be expanding the fleet if we need to, and I'm sure we will. Certainly if we want to keep the length of the time needed to harvest the farm to a reasonable one. Right up here we have this wonderful machine from the Massey Ferguson pack, the Massey Ferguson 885. It mows, it looks odd, and it looks even odder when it's mowing. And then we've got the Ferguson 20, and I believe this is the D model. It's the one without the cab. The one with the cab, we will put the cab on, especially if it's raining, but it does look a little bit odd. This is just a basic yard tractor with the bale forks, a nice back weight. That's a good one because you can also get a trailer in here and it's adjustable, and yeah, because this does need the back weight when this is moving bales. It's quite a small tractor, this Massey Ferguson 200. And here, this is also on lease. We leased an old dirty one because it was cheaper. A Keenan food mixer just to keep the cows up to 100%. Okay, so we're back down in the yard. Just a couple more things to show you. This is the silo. It'll hold all the grains, all the crops. It will hold hay, it will hold grass, it will hold silage, it will hold pig food, it will hold mixed rations. It'll even hold things I can't get on the console, like the ingredients for pig food. We've got the fuel cell point right here. Tucked in behind the baler, and the baler's there to stop me triggering it hopefully by accident, is a seed cell point, and there's a fertilizer cell point in this shed. We won't be using either because they're very expensive. I think that is everything you need to see around the yard. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're behind us with the project. We'll put a penny in there for luck. It's all about this man here, Grandpa Altenstein, the village of Altenstein, and the people of Altenstein, Let's save them from developers and gentrification and make Altenstein great again, and let's do it together. Right, I'm going to leave you as I found you. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, the introduction. We will get down to some farming in the next episode. I'll leave you with the wonderful view of the mountains. Please leave us any comments you like, suggestions for how we might proceed, suggestions for the map. You might know something I don't, and any equipment you like to see. We're going to get some more equipment, small old time equipment. Subscribe if you like to stay in touch. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.